What's going on, YouTube? We're back, and what we're going to be going over today is a swing trade idea that I have. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, I posted a couple stories about this the other day about gold and crypto and what I see them doing in the coming months. Right. So I know there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but uncertainty when uncertainty arises in the world, you really want to stick to higher time frame analysis. Okay, you don't really want to be going in the direction opposite to what the market is doing. You just want to get in sync with order flow and be a participant on the right side of things. You don't want to be trying to do too much. So what I'm looking at here is potentially a high forming here on crypto, gold, and potentially indices as well. So if we go to like NASDAQ, the stock market, obviously they've been creating all-time highs, right? We're still pressing higher. At the same time, we're coming into a optimal advanced setup on crypto. So the William %R is diverging. So this is a 5-day chart. We'll go to a weekly chart. But we're diverging here pretty hard, right? So we're making lower highs on crypto and gold, and the stock market is pricing in higher highs. Okay, so what does that tell us? Right? When we look at the market as a whole, and this is the other thing too, when this kind of stuff is going on, you have to look at the market as a whole. It's a well-oiled machine. Okay, and we don't want to just take care. Say if you're doing your car, for example, right? You want to be doing all of the maintenance on the car. If you don't have all the maintenance done, then your car, your trading is not going to be successful, right? So you want to look at everything as a whole, and then make the best informed decision that you possibly can with the information that you have, right? So like I said, for the intermarket analysis, the SMT divergence between indices, crypto, and gold, I want to see price roll over. If I'm going to be wrong, then I believe crypto is not going to be the leader. It's going to be the lagger. I believe if I'm going to be correct on this analysis, that crypto is going to be the leader and the stock market will be the lagger. Okay. And also we got to pay attention here as well, because from a timing and pricing perspective, right, with what we're doing right now in the markets, what I'm seeing here on really, really higher time frame charts, we could very well see something happen in the world of grand proportion, right? Like a nuke or just progression of war that could send the market lower, right, as a whole. So that's what I'm kind of anticipating going forward. And so I kind of just touched on a little bit of the technicals, a little bit of the fundamentals, but now we're going to get into the nitty gritty here of what I'll be looking for going forward in terms of price targets and price delivery. So what I'm going to be looking for here, I'm actually in a short position. I'm going to be swinging this. I'm going to be swinging Ethereum for the sell side liquidity pools that we have below, and I'm going to go into those reasons right now. So we have OA on a 5-day chart, right? Both on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Prices come up into a premium. Okay, we have a balanced price range. We have this wick here, this breaker. We've traded into this wick, this balanced price range, this breaker, and we're in the upper portion of this fair value gap. Let me just take a peek at this. So we're at consequent encroachment. I don't want to see a body get laid over here. I don't want to see a body get laid above the consequent encroachment on this 5-day chart. Okay, and so we're going to drop down into a daily chart very, very quick, right? You have this liquidity pool as well. So if we're going to be lower, this is the only internal range sell side left for us to go short, right? The next level of buy side, which would be up here, and I wouldn't really necessarily be interested in the market to go short at this point. If we come up here, I don't think we're going to just roll over. I think right now is a very, very good time for the market to turn around, and this is going to be the high. This is what I'm expecting. This is what I'm anticipating. So just wanted to point that out. At the same time, Ethereum has failed to come into this gap, which is good, right? Which is kind of what we want to see in terms of the leaders of the move. We don't want to see them taking liquidity or fair value. We want to see them leave it open, right? So that's another thing that we want to be aware of when we're in these markets. And we're going to drop down into an hourly chart where the meat is, right? So we're in the higher time frame levels. The fundamentals that I mentioned. Actually, it's a 4-hour chart. My apologies. Let me just check here just to see if hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm really hoping you guys can hear me. Give me 1 second, guys. I haven't used OBS in a long time. We're just going to go with it. Okay, so we took out the liquidity. So this line up here is the liquidity on that daily chart. We have SMT on these highs, right on the hourly highs in the premium markets or in the premium price range, right? So we have SMT on the hourly chart coming into a higher time frame point of interest, or an area that we want to potentially see highs be formed before we sell off. And the reason why I'm taking Ethereum, guys, over Bitcoin, I think Ethereum is going to be the leader in terms of speed, velocity, and reaching sell side first as opposed to Bitcoin, is because we have the SMT, right? The first will be last and the last will be first, right? And so if we look here, we have this balanced price range that just formed. We close below that, and we've also closed below this balanced price range here. Okay. So very, very simple. Like, don't overcomplicate things. And that's one of the things that I really like about Optimal Advance is it's not very complicated. It's very simple, but it's also very complex. I mean, okay, put it this way. It's very simple, but it's very complex in nature. It's very simple to understand, but very complex, and has a full, complete understanding of the markets through and through. So again, we have price coming into a premium market OA on the 5-day chart. Okay, we just took out the last leg of an internal liquidity on Bitcoin, and we have SMT at that level of liquidity, right? So whenever price is coming into liquidity pools, fair value gap, you want to be looking for SMTs to indicate to us a change in state of delivery, right? And then the next thing we look for is a market structure shift. Okay, so market structure shift here that we have, I want to see this low get taken out. But in terms of the balanced price ranges, I use these a lot. In terms of market structure shifts, I use them interchangeably. So typically you want to have both, right? Balanced price range created and then a low taken out. That's more ideal. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit in here, which is fine, but I've entered probably about an hour ago or so, and I'm swinging this to the lows. So this is just a swing idea that I have, and I'm looking for it to play out. I'm looking to see some sort of displacement here relatively soon, honestly. And that's the other thing too. We're lining up for bearish prices, and when there's chaos going on in the world, a lot of times Donald Trump, or when these things happen, will be over the weekends. So the weekends typically bring in actually a lot of volatility, right? Lots of big gaps in price and stuff like that. And we can get really, really big moves. Thankfully, with my broker that I'm with, I can actually trade on the weekends. I can trade crypto. I can modify my orders. I can manage my trades. I can close positions. I can add positions. So that's the good thing about the broker that I'm with. So we're going to look for speed, honestly, relatively soon. I'd like to see speed. I'd like to see speed below here. Probably over Asia and into New York. Definitely like to see price trade below these lows here on Ethereum. Gonna pop back up to the hourly chart. Just take another look at the liquidity pools that we have. This will be another area in which I will look for price to trade to and through. Right, I want to see speed and velocity through these lows. Right, so we have equal lows here, liquidity pool, right? This is all LR. We have tons of liquidity in here. Like, we haven't really taken a whole lot of liquidity in here, right? Equal lows down here, equal lows here, equal lows here. So we could really see this thing start to pump lower. I think with the way the world is right now and the context of everything, technically and fundamentally, this is a pretty decent opportunity to swing and to short crypto, gold, and also indices. And one thing that you guys gotta understand too is we've actually never seen a bearish market. Like, this here is not really a bearish market. Yes, in theory it is. And I know that my broker here doesn't have all the data. But the markets just continually go up, right? And we're in a market environment right now, fundamentally, and technically, where we can see displacement to the downside. We have a lot of uncertainty, a lot of stuff going on around the world. And it may be time for them to send it lower and to enter into a bearish market for the first time in a long time, right? Like the 2008 crash, the 2020 crash, those are retracements. Those are internal range, power of 3 retracements and corrections in the market to continue to go long. So again, we haven't seen a bearish market ever. And this can't keep going up forever. It can't. And if they want to substitute the system that we have right now with a new one, then you guys can anticipate these markets not to continue to be bullish. If that's really what they're striving for, it may take some time, and the markets have to get to a certain point, and the economy and the state of the world has to get to a certain point for them to transition over to that system. And how are they going to do that? They have to create chaos. Secondly, here, I forgot to mention this: consolidation, retracement, expansion. Notice how there's not a whole lot of fair value in here. Like, we're not moving like this, right? Contracting, slow, lethargic, taking out highs, coming back into the range, taking out highs, coming back into the range, right? Looking for price to take out this high, which we already have done, and then to move back into the range. And I want to see this high being the high of the swing. Lastly, I actually haven't done this. I haven't looked at this yet, but just the ranges. So we have close to an 800 point range here. Very close to 652. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Almost a perfect 20,000 range. So that's awesome. So if we're going to move lower, we can reasonably expect at least a 20,000 move on Bitcoin for these lows. You got to watch out for the SMT here as well. If and when price does get down here and below here, I will be looking heavily for SMT. And well, I know we're going to get SMT 100%. It's just a matter of if it holds or not. I'm going to be looking for signatures to indicate that the SMT is going to hold and that we're actually going to trade heavily through 60,000 and potentially, get into 50,000 or even down even towards 35,000. All right, guys. So that's going to be it. Hope you guys learned something. I'll keep you guys updated as this trade idea goes on. And this is not financial advice. All of these trades that you see on this YouTube are on a demo account. Nothing is in live money, and this is all in a demo. Until next time, guys, good luck and good trading.